Hi guys, welcome back to HAG Studios. Today we're going to look at how to make our beds and do so in a luxurious way. Let's start with colors. Choose colors that you like, but bear in mind that softer colors and more earthy tones make for more relaxing spaces, and that's important in a bedroom. Fabrics, starting with your sheets. Choose sheet sets that are nice on your skin and go for higher thread counts. Let's look at the choice of fabrics. In this case, what I'm doing is I'm using earth tones combined with soft tones, and I'm choosing different patterns. There's this plaid, it is pretty masculine, but then it's softened by this pattern, which has animals, or like giraffes and elephants and so on. And this I'm combining with it. If you notice, the colors are being carried, and that's important. I also have this one, which is just plain brown. And this is what I call a surprise. I like to add a surprise pattern or fabric whenever I'm doing a color combination. This one has a leopard print, and it's in keeping with the animals that are on this one. I had this fabric a long time before. I just saw it, I loved it, I bought it, and then I was eventually able to use it. I've added these beads because sometimes the details make the big difference in terms of making a room luxurious. So the beads were added to this.
Say it again.
I also added the same beads to the drapery, and I'm carrying again the colors, the brown, the green, and the cream. I've started to make the bed. I've already put on the fitted sheet, which you know it's easy to do. But I wanted to show you how to do what is called a hospital corner. And so I've spread the top sheet over the fitted sheet. You're gonna pull this up underneath like this, and then you go all the way down. Then you lift this into a kind of triangle. Put this in, and then you bring it down and push this under, and you get that kind of corner. Carry it all the way up. Sometimes if you leave this part out, it's a lot easier when you want to get into bed. And it's going to get covered by the spread anyway. So now it's time to make the bed. This is a king size comforter.
All right.
And so you know the curved side goes to the back. And I can take this all the way up, or I can fold it. In this case, I'm going to fold it. Now, the key thing with making, well, with any design is actually layering. You want to make, you want to create a bed that is dimensional, not flat. Nothing in nature is actually flat. So I'm starting with, I'm going to turn it this way, the king size pillow shams at the back. Because this is a high headboard, I'll put them up. If it was a low bedboard, I'd probably put them down like this. But for this, I'm putting it up. The flanges, give it an extra height, these flanges. So that's one layer. All right? These are smaller. This is a king size bed, so these are king size pillow shams and pillows. These are queen size, so they come in a little bit. So there's a dimension here as well as here. Now there's a little space here which can be left, but normally I fill it. So I put this cushion in there, adding a little depth, more depth. And I also have this one. And then I put this one to the front. And then the smallest one in front of that. Notice the depth. Now, there's one more thing to be added. And that's a throw, which is another level of layering. And this also carries some beads. I ruffle it because it also adds to the dimension. And I have another one which was made specifically for this bed. I'm just gonna put this in like that. This was made to go with the whole set, so it's the same colors that are in the drapery, the spread, other things. I'm not making this smooth. It can be made flat if that's your preference, but I kind of like when it looks a little ruffled. So that's it. Make sure this is higher than this. Just pull them up. And I'll do the same thing on this side. You can stand back and view what needs to be adjusted. Make sure this is higher than this other one. So what's going on there is an interplay, different heights, different sizes, different patterns. This pattern, the leopard print, is so similar to the pattern in the leaves and the arrangement, which is just greenery I cut from outside. Nature is so wonderful. So there you have it, a luxurious bed, and it didn't take me so long. Latoya is with me and she has a few questions.
Okay, I have always wondered, is there a rule against having too many cushions and pillows on the bed?
There is an unwritten rule, Latoya. It can be too many. And what I've found over the years in design, that men don't really like too many pillows. So you don't want pillows to come all the way down, taking up all of your bed. But a few pillows will add that extra punch. So I'd recommend you keep them to a minimum but include pillows.
Okay, so you said to keep the pillows to a minimum. So can you just give me an idea of what basic ones I need to just make my bed as luxurious as this one?
I think you need at least 4 pillows. But in terms of cushions, just add maybe 3 or 5 the most cushions. And keep them in different sizes, different shapes. And that helps to make it more interesting.
So what if I don't have a king size bed and I have maybe a double or a queen size bed? What size pillows should I get for them?
Sorry. Okay. This is a king size bed, so I'd recommend the king size at the back, king size pillows and shams. And I find when they have these flanges, it gives them extra height, especially when you have a high headboard. But if you're doing a queen bed or a double bed, okay, let's start with queen. If you're doing a queen size bed, you want to start with the back ones being queen and then double at the front. And if you're doing a double bed, you want to start with use just double pillows. And then you add cushions of different size. The key thing is to have this sort of layering. A good example of layering is if you observe the mountains, you'll notice that mountains are not flat. There's some that are behind, there's some that are higher. Just how the mountains are formed. If you observe nature, you'll realize that there's always layering going on. So the key thing is to do the layering with your pillows and with the cushions, making them different sizes. Some are forward, some are back, some are in, some are out.
You know, growing up, my mother always taught me, or always insisted that we make our beds before we leave home. As we wake up, we have to get up, make our beds before we do anything else. So I'm wondering, I go to work early in the mornings. I really don't have any time to fix the bed like this. How long does it take? Or is there anything else I can do that will still make my bed look luxurious? You know, so I don't know if you can help me.
Okay, my mother used to insist on us making the beds too. And there are times when I'd leave it because I was always late to get the bus for school. And I'd come back in the evenings and the bed was made. But this didn't take so long. Once you get used to it, it really is a quick fix. If you're using a comforter, it's usually much easier than using, say, for example, a spread. A comforter is kind of forgiving. You throw it on, and it doesn't usually look bad once you have covered the bed. I'd suggest that for the sheets, you might not want to use the top sheet. You have the fitted sheet, which is already on. The top sheet will be pulled down, but you don't have to put it back on the bed. You can fold that and actually hide it. I hide mine behind the pillows. So, because that takes a lot of time, putting on the top sheet. And these are just easy to go on. It doesn't take so long. You can do your bed in less than 5 minutes, especially when you're used to it.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I'm going to make my bed.
That's right.